Hi everyone, welcome to this fun new video. In this video I will be making a paint by numbers of my own painting. But first I'm gonna show you the time lapse of the actual painting that I did. I love it so much. I really like how it turned out. It's definitely one of my new favorite illustrations that I've made. If you want to see a little kind of tutorial or walkthrough on how I draw in this style on paper, definitely let me know in the comments because I really enjoy drawing on paper in this way. I also used some metallic watercolor, which I don't do that often, but I did buy the metallic watercolor and it was quite expensive, so I do want to use it now and then. So yeah, this is my painting that I made, my original painting. I can show it to you here as well. If you can see it, I love it so much. By the way, I did a sketch on my iPad first. That's what I've been doing lately for all my paintings on paper, because that way I can just make the sketch easier on paper without having to erase anything because it doesn't fit well or anything. I really like sketching on my iPad first. The only thing I kind of dislike is drawing with Posca markers or acrylic markers because I don't use Poscas anymore. And the paper kind of like peels off. And I have like a lot of little things sticking out of my painting that I have to rub off. But that's the only thing I dislike about the methods that I use when it comes to drawing on paper. Okay guys, so I'm on figuredart.nl, which is a Dutch site, and I just uploaded my image. I uploaded this and I chose the smallest size, which is 40 by 50 centimeters and 24 colors, the cheapest option, and that's 30 euros. So I'm gonna order this and see when it arrives. Okay, so we have the paint by numbers kit here. It costed 29 euros, which is kind of expensive to me, especially because it comes from China. But I am thinking that this paint by numbers set will be very big, since the packaging is quite big as well. So let's open it up for you guys. I'm very curious how my painting translated to a paint by numbers. This is what's inside, all the paint. We have some little brushes. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. It's probably like a little bit too light to properly see it, but it actually looks kind of promising, you guys. Probably because it's like 4 times bigger than my actual painting, so I feel like there's a little bit of detail into it. I have worked on this for more than 2 hours now, and I already know this is gonna be absolute torture. I'm gonna show you what I have so far. I have this after 2 hours. I don't know why I keep doing these projects that I actually don't really like doing, but the result always is so much fun to me, so that's why I always keep pushing through. Another thing is that just with the diamond painting I did, there are a few colors that are super similar, and I don't really get why they are separate colors. Hi guys, so this is the third session I'm gonna work on this paint by number painting. Especially the first part was very tedious to do, and then it became a little bit easier the more I went upwards, because then I used a little bit less colors in my original painting. And I think it looks fine from afar, but it is a little bit blobby. This part definitely was a bit less tedious to do, but also I have 3 different types of just black. I don't know why, but some of these colors are like exactly the same. Do you see all these? Like, how am I supposed to paint in these? This is a nightmare. Nee. Okay, hello guys. I'm gonna do a little voiceover for this video since I was thinking the video itself maybe isn't super interesting. It's just me painting the paint by numbers for the most part. So I decided I wanted to do a little Q&A. Well, I actually have quite a lot of questions, and for some questions I have quite long answers, so I hope this video doesn't become too long. But I noted down all the questions and answers, so I'm gonna take my laptop now and look at them. First question by Amber BVO. Do you learn everything yourself? The only education I've had is graphic design, Adobe apps and stuff like that. I'm a web/digital designer by education, so illustrating, crocheting and all that stuff I've learned myself. Especially illustrating took me many years to come to where I am now. I will start sewing classes in September though. Another question by Amber. Would you rather make art or crocheting your job? Since crocheting is my only hobby, I think I would rather do illustrating and stuff as a job. But if I would somehow become a famous YouTuber doing crochet vlogs and projects, I would really like that as well. I think I would be okay with selling crochet patterns, but never actually crocheted items. And the last question by Amber and also my boyfriend, they kind of had the same question. Where do you get your inspiration from? I consume art content 24/7. I follow a lot of artists I admire on social media and I save a lot of posts that inspire me. I also make boards for inspiration, and every now and then I organize all my ideas and think about projects I can do and make videos about. I haven't really had creative block in a very long time. I do struggle with illustrating sometimes because I find it very hard to find original ideas, but then I just try to push through anyways, or do like a draw this in your style or something. The only thing I'm scared of is that I'll go back to work and lose my creative energy, but when I was at home full-time I had new ideas every single day. I even get ideas while I'm sleeping, but usually the ideas seem kind of bad when I wake up. Next question is by Altsky or Altsky. Love your work, thank you so much. As a fellow autistic artist that's chronically overwhelmed, how do you stay motivated and organized for all your different projects? I feel really good every time a project is done, not so much when I'm actually doing the project, but I keep thinking about how good and proud I will feel once the project is finished. I would recommend, if you struggle with doing projects, to focus more on short-term projects, because finishing something can be so rewarding, at least to me. Again, I haven't worked for a while, so I could basically work full-time on my personal projects, which helped me a lot. But once I go back to work officially, I can maybe talk about this again with a new perspective. A question by Timefulness. Simple. When did you start? How did you start? And why did you start? Bonus question. What keeps you going when motivation and dopamine are lacking? I started being self-employed as a student because I watched a lot of art studio vlogs, I think. I thought starting a small business selling art prints and stuff was going to be easy, with almost no drawing experience, which is kind of silly. Then I started off learning how to draw. I used to be so much more naive, and now I'm the total opposite. I'm too scared to risk things to grow a business because it wouldn't be financially responsible at the moment. But I want to keep growing my brand as a hobby anyways. And to be honest, I almost never lack motivation when it comes to my hobbies. I mean, I'm obsessed with them and I'm always hyper-focused when it comes to my hobbies. I only really lack motivation for anything else in life, so I'm sorry if this isn't a super useful answer, but my doctor just says that I have built a very steady routine in my life, like uploading on YouTube weekly, and because I've become so used to working on my projects almost daily, it's just not a struggle for me anymore compared to when I was burnt out. I definitely had to build up the routine and also my skills. Question by Tabby Violet. What country are you from and how did you and your boyfriend meet? You both are such a cute couple. Thank you so much. I live in Belgium, Europe. My boyfriend and I met on Tinder back in 2017, which by the way is a year before I got self-employed. And this was also before I got my autism diagnosis and stuff like that, so that's kind of weird to think about. Question by Toralia? I don't know how to pronounce it. If I pronounce a name wrong, please excuse me. What is your favorite thing to eat or your favorite snack? New things you want to try? Things you love about yourself and about your partner? I'm a very boring person when it comes to food, but I really enjoy a good casserole dish. Not any specific one, just a very well cooked one. I want to try polymer clay maybe next month, starting next month. What I love about myself is that I have a lot of perseverance, although it might not seem like that because I had a burnout and everything, but I don't easily give up on something at all. I'm very consistent, and if I want to go for something, I really go for it, although it might take me years to do. The thing I like the most about Evucht is that he always talks about all his interests, like I know what he's talking about. He will tell everything about Pokemon Go, for example, and I don't even know how the game works, but I think it's just so cute, and I'm always happy if he wants to info dump about something he enjoys. A question by Puffin, I think? Puffin with a 1. Have you ever looked into Tunisian crochet? I have not. I have only looked into traditional crochet and knitting. I also don't feel like I have a lot of interest in learning it, to be honest. I feel like otherwise I would just knit. Another question by Puffin. Have you done anything else on your scrappy sweater? I was very impressed that you remembered my scrap sweater because I started, I think, over half a year ago, and it's my only work in progress. I want to get it finished when it gets colder again, because then I will be able to wear it immediately. A question by Emilia Rose Illustrations. Who were your fashion inspirations growing up? I think that's kind of a hard question, but I used to mainly watch YouTubers when I was younger, and the only specific thing that I remember was that Melon Lady, or now called Helen Anderson, really inspired me to get pink hair when I was 14 years old. So I actually got pink hair as a teenager because of her. And I guess she was like trending on Tumblr and stuff back then. And the last question by Ahita Creates, I don't know how to pronounce that. When did you start crocheting? What's your most favorite thing you've created, crochet or any other craft? I started crocheting over a year and a half ago. It's so hard for me to choose a favorite because I actually like the most things I make. I think my favorite thing is this sweater. It's the first thing I ever crocheted, and it's my favorite because I wear it all the time when it's cold weather, but I would choose other items as favorites for other reasons. My favorite art project is probably my tapestries that I designed and made, but that's also crocheted, and then probably also my corset of my illustrations that I hand sew in a more recent video. So you guys, that were all my questions. I'm gonna go back to the paint by numbers part of this video now. I really hope you enjoyed me talking about, me just answering these questions. By the way guys, if there is anything I talked about in the Q&A that seems interesting to you and you think I should make a longer video about talking about that subject, please let me know in the comments, and then I'll maybe make a longer video talking about that subject, because I really rushed my Q&A because I didn't want this video to be half an hour long. I feel like it doesn't really look like the reference image that much. From far it does, but if you look up close it looks terrible. You can also see the numbers through it and it just looks horrible, and I think when the colors were chosen it just doesn't match that well. I'm gonna show you the original drawing in just a second. And this is the result. I decided to leave this open partly because I didn't want to do it anymore, and also because I thought it would be fun if I would show this on an expo, which I don't think I will actually do because it looks so bad up close. But if I would show this at an expo, you could see it's a paint by number, although it was kind of obvious anyways. But I think that would have been a fun touch if I would somehow ever show this in an expo next to the original drawing. From far it looks very much like the original painting, but yeah, this is what I have. Evucht asked me if I wasn't gonna finish the painting, and maybe one day I will, but I'm just way too tired of this project. I'm gonna show them next to each other now. Are they about the same measurements in the video now? Because I'm trying to make the perspective right. Do you see if they are the same? And now up close. This is my original painting up close.
Wow.
Very beautiful, very detailed. And then this is the paint by numbers up close. It's horrible. I will never do paint by numbers again, you guys. Just, you know, if there's one lesson you need to learn from this video, don't make a paint by numbers from your original painting. Just make the original painting and it's fine. Don't do what I do. It was kind of a random idea anyways. But I guess it was like a fun experiment to see what it would look like compared to each other. And I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in next week's video. Have a good day or night. Bye bye!